Hi colleagues, and thank you for joining. We're going to be looking at a couple of the new Scout reports today. You'll notice that I'm sitting in the Scout demo app, and that means that some of our reports may sit a little differently in terms of the menu on the left, but I assure you they work the same. You'll notice that the attendance and the attendance by half term sit at separate levels. That's because the attendance by half term relates to the targets, and it's the only report that automatically does. So if you're wondering what's different, that means that it's only years 1 to 10 and excludes kindergarten, year 11 and 12. If we open the half-term report, now you need to go up and select your school. So I'm going to select Demo Secondary School for the purposes of what we're looking at today. I'll take you through this quite quickly. So our attendance rate is the average attendance, which currently on this one sits at 76.9. Students attending greater than 90% is 37%. Really important, our data completeness is 99.9%. Being a secondary school, we don't have a primary lower bound target, but we do have a secondary lower bound target of 58.3%. If we scroll down, the attendance days and lost days report is a really quick visual that allows you to identify if these pink areas are either increasing or decreasing. You'll notice the term 1, H1 is lower overall, and that's because we had a much shorter week in week 1. We'll then move to the next two that take a little bit more time to unpack. So we're looking 95% to 100%. Here we've got 96 of our students, or 23%. And the reason these are separated while they're both green is that 95% plus is where we expect all students to be. 90 to 95 is our proactive area where we need to be encouraging better attendance. So we've got 53 students sitting there, or 13% of the school. Particularly for those of you who are involved in the 80s to 90s program, the number of these students is really important. So we're looking at 87 students in the 80-90% range, and they're the students that we're looking to move above the green line as we focus on this initiative. And finally, we've got 167 students who are sitting in the 0 to 80% range that certainly deserve our attention. Okay, if we come down to the next report, this is really a powerful report, but it takes a little bit to read it. I suggest you start with this bottom line, which shows 414 students. Now remember, because this relates to attendance targets, it excludes kindergarten, 11 and 12, and so many high school principals would look at that straight away and think it was an error, but that's your 7 to 10 students only. We've then got 138 students that are sitting in the 90 plus range, 76 according to this that sit 80 to 89, and 200 that are sitting in the 0 to 79 range. If we now start to unpack them and we can work our way up, of the 138 that currently sit in 90% plus, 110 of them were, if we work back across, sat in 90% plus over the last 12 months. So they've remained constant. 20 of them, though, have improved over the previous 12 months. Are in the 80 to 89%. So that's 20 reasons to celebrate that the school's done an absolutely fabulous job. And even more pleasing, we've dragged 8 up from the 0 to 79% range. So the school's picked up an additional 28 students in the last 5 weeks into the 90 plus, which is a great result. When we have a look, though, in the 80 to 89 or tier 1 range, 35 of our students previously over the last 12 months were in 90% plus. So they've actually gone backwards, and that'll be 35 students that we'd need to identify. 30 have remained constant, and 11 have improved from the 0 to 79 range. So overall, some good things happening for the school. The attendance by days of the week, you'll see the bar graphs or column graphs below relate to the last 3 years. The interesting thing for most schools is to have a look, and you'll find that one day of the week is typically much worse or much better than other days, particularly if it's a day of concern. You need to have a look and identify. So looking quickly at this school, I would say that we've got a 5% difference between Tuesday and any other days. So if I was the principal, I'd be looking to say, what goes on Tuesday? Do we have sport on that day? Do we have assembly? Is it the day we finish early? Is there something particular relating to the school? It might be that the canteen's closed, or is that our day that many of our students go to TAFE for half a day? So very interesting to have a look. Okay, and that wraps up our very brief looking at the half-term